I would go by Staff. That'd be cool.
Mustafa is real popular.
One of my best friends from college, his name is Mustafa, and we call him Moose and Moo Moo.
Yeah.
I prefer Fat Juicy, if you ask me.
That was her choice. She was like, should I name my child Fat Juicy and then stick with him for the rest of his life?
Is Lamar in the bathroom?
I'm walking into the kitchen to get a beer.
Damn. Hot.
Those gonna be cribs.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, check me out, yo. Yeah, 10-minute rice.
Oh shit.
Yo, magnets. Shout out to mom. Made you a magnet, mom. You know what it is.
That show should come back.
Man, cribs was a shit, but it was fake as fuck. Yeah. I heard they was setting people up in cribs. That's why they was always so clean. You ain't like see a sock hanging somewhere or something like that, or a lot of them got set up in
the Red Man and Method Man one was not clean.
The Red Man one was great.
Oh, Red Man was the only like real one that they shot. They was trying to get him mansion and shit too, or put him in some type of fucking condo or some shit. And he was like, "Nah, dog, I'm good. Take me over Jersey." And that's I think like he got like 2 houses, but that's like his main house or something like that.
Have you guys seen like Architectural Digest? They're like a design, like I guess, like magazine, and so they literally will tour celebrities' homes, and the tours are like so frustrating to watch because you just watch these celebrities have no idea what's in their house. They're like, someone decorated this. I don't know why they chose it.
It's the dream.
When you do this, you don't have to like pick any. Like everybody picks something for you. You're like, oh yeah, something. You're like how you live, like.
And they'll have like 3 or 4 rooms. They're like, we don't really use this room. I don't know why it's here.
Oh my gosh, I hate that room, man. They always like, yeah. Christina Aguilera had a fucking pillow room, man. She was like, yeah, we just chill out here. We just vibe out. It looked like they never hop in there, man. I was like, damn. I would just jerk off all day in that room.
In the pillow room? Oh.
It was a room. It was a small room filled with like these velvet pillows just all around, man. It was crazy.
You can't get the stains out of velvet. Come on.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to want to do.
You just get new velvet. At that point, you get new velvet. Yeah. If you have a pillow room, you're not doing laundry. You just get new shit all the time.
I'm jerking off in the sock room. my room that's just socks.
Filled with old crusty socks. Crinkly socks.
Ooh, baby.
Sounds like autumn leaves crunching when you walk in there.
Reminds me of Room Raiders. Y'all remember Room Raiders? Are everybody old enough to remember that show on MTV?
Like redo your room?
Yeah, like you would like before you went on a date with somebody, you went and raided their room, and they would turn on a black light on your bed.
Right. And there was like a van involved. They were like hiding in a van.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they like kidnapped them into the van.
Yeah. And then
with their mic already on.
Yeah, it was wild. It's good stuff though.
I'll be right back.
Cool. MTV had a lot of inventive dating games.
Also, hello everyone. It's nice to see you all.
What up, big?
Hey, what's up, Brandon?
I don't know if I've ever seen Brandon's legs.
I spilled Old Bay everywhere, and I have to clean it off myself in my living room. Give me a second.
You see Old Bay?
I'm good. You don't see many people's legs
in stand up.
But yeah, Brandon for sure. I've never seen his legs.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to blind anybody, so I don't show anybody my
What's up, guys?
What's up, Shannon?
What's up, Shannon?
I heard my Beetlejuice. What's going on? Everyone good?
Shannon's like God. We don't see him. We just hear him.
Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. Let me turn my camera on.
Shannon,
you don't have to, man. It's your thing, man. You can have a thing.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll keep it off. I'm the sweatiest human being. Let me turn it off.
I thought Shannon was my conscience for a little bit. I was like, wait, I'm really elegant. I speak elegantly in my head.
I say Hawaii properly in my head.
Pronounce all your T's properly in your head.
Yeah, I'm like the exact opposite. I don't even finish words. I'm just like, I trail off.
I'm tired of this sentence. I'm not gonna finish it.
Those look like, are those transition shades?
Are they 3D glasses?
Wait,
are you from the future?
I'm Frank Nesbitt.
Yeah. If only he was here to be roasted.
What is he up to?
Man,
is he
I worked
still
on this all week, man.
Frank, if you're watching the feed, this is a public call out. You have to come.
Did you guys go protest?
He went to the protest too.
Frank,
or I think so. Anyway,
dropped some water off, I believe.
Yeah, Frank and I went to.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And it was just like a speech. There was like a speech for like an hour. The guy was dressed like he was about to do like R&B song. He was dressed like Neo, kind of.
It could have been Neo.
Neo from Matrix or Neo the R&B song?
Closer.
And I thought he was gonna start crooning. And I was
That's
like,
a fair question.
That's true.
Yeah, there was someone in Lancaster who was like decked out in protective gear.
Oof.
And we had like the most peaceful protest, but he was ready, like decked out, like head to toe.
Oh.
I'm glad Hawaii's like super boring, but like our protest, people are bringing food and hors d'oeuvres and hugging
like
each other.
It's just the barbecue. That's all it is.
It's a luau. It's just a luau.
Just an excuse to say what's up.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Hawaii is the best state, man. I don't know why you ever left, Shannon. I've been there one time. I was like, I want my ashes spread over like a beach in Hawaii. Like that's how much I love Hawaii.
I love.
Maybe that beach doesn't want you though, Manny.
I needed discomfort in my life. I just needed to feel like I'm going against something, and Philly was the right place to go. Like Hawaii made life too easy for me.
Like the pollution, the
I get that. I truly believe if I was in Hawaii,
dude, do some push-ups every day. You went too far.
I needed adversity. I never had a teacher that said I couldn't do it, so like I needed to move to Philadelphia. I don't have a story.
You had too much love. You needed. I got you.
Yeah.
Too much support.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we live.
Hey, folks. Is anyone else's stream real bad?
Mine is smooth right now, but I just got here.
Mine's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hop off for a second, hop back on, and see if it's me. Okay. So I'll see you folks in a second.
Cool. What y'all talking about?
Talking about the wonderful upbringing that Shannon had and why he had to move to Philly.
Yeah.
His upbringing was too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I needed a punishment. I mean, that's pretty much all it was. You know, I needed, if I ever wrote a story and they're like, what did you go through? Blindness. And they're like, what was hard about that? People needed to drive me places.
That's the same reason Barack moved to Chicago.
That's right.
Exactly.
True.
Same thing.
He would not be president if he didn't move to the south side of Chicago.
He did.
Right. He had to go to the most serious place. He could have went to New York, Philly. No. He went to Chicago. And that's his claim to fame. You know, he gathered people and he mobilized people in Chicago. If he didn't have that,
I felt awkward being the majority and like being like everybody. I needed something. I needed to go somewhere where I felt like people hated me. Philly's done well.
Yeah.
Philly's done well. My first week there, I was on the bus and this dude was just like talking to himself, and I'm not used to that, so I started laughing, and he's like, "What you laughing at, you Cleveland Indian?" I don't even know what that meant, but I was like, "Okay, this is what I moved here for. This is what I moved here for."
All right. Wow. Nice.
Damn.
Yeah.
That should be a bit. You gotta make that a bit somehow. That is random and hilarious.
It was
like Kenny Anderson. Like that's a baseball team, right? That's still a baseball team.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, does he think I'm an Indian, or is he just calling me awful?
That's a good insult because it leaves you questioning for years. You'll never know, and it will bother you. It stays with you forever.
Because he could be a serious Philly fan and thought that you were a baseball player. It was like fucking Cleveland Indian and in Philadelphia. Or he could just be very racist.
Right.
You know, yeah, no, I talk about.
Well, why would he think you're a Native American?
That's almost dumb enough for racist to say, though. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what it meant, and that's why I couldn't bring it on stage because I don't know what it meant, and it just that's where he left me. I'm just thinking for the rest of my life, like, did he? What does it mean? And
I think this guy was like new to racism. I think he was raised thinking that we were over that, slavery's over, everybody could vote, kind of all this stuff. He thought that we had achieved justice, and now he's having like an awakening to racism. And he doesn't know. He knows that he has to say something to you, Shannon. You should be flattered. This man is trying. He's stretching. You know what I mean? That was a stretch. He was going beyond his comfort zone into trying to marginalize you.
It's like a baby giraffe. Have you ever watched a baby giraffe? Their legs are too long, so they're like stumbling, but they know what they have to do.
He's trying. Yeah.
Really trying.
Yeah.
He's a one stripe racist. Just
Cleveland Indian. Maybe he's saying you look like the actual the logo.
That's my shit.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty racist, right? Like that just took it to another level.
You did have that feather in your hair, which probably not. That's I don't know. I can't totally blame him on this one. Shannon, I'm sorry.
I bet if we did 5 minutes of Shannon look like, nobody would say you look like a Cleveland Indian. That's the thing. Y'all, we slipping.
That's wild.
You know, we actually didn't do introductions. If we want to do a little intro here, I'm happy to do it. But also if someone else wants to take over, nope. Okay,
this guy here.
All right.
I'm tripping over Frank Nesbitt right now. So
you missed it. He had the glasses and everything. Maybe he'll bring it back.
The Frank. Yeah, that was the failure.
If Frank comes back on, we still have an opportunity to roast him. Okay, all right. Another week of Sucks to Be Quarantined. This is the host test where we're all getting our legs wet, getting them warmed up and limber as we go on to another show. As always, you have the fearless team here with even more new recruits. So at this point, I'm going to say the core team consists of me, Liam Paris, pretty comedian in Philadelphia. Chris Esperance, the Zoom master extraordinaire.
Massa.
Jared Little, also known as Fat Juicy, also not known as Mufasa, which Mustafa, which his mother almost named him, as we learned earlier.
J-Rod.
That one. Big J-Rod. We got Shaylin Forshee, who's created these amazing graphics.
Shay.
We got Matt Cooley, who is standing triumphantly to the camera.
Not Susan.
Not Susan. Manny Brown, the second prettiest comedian in Philadelphia. And of course, our fearless leader, Katanya Mosley, who I believe is streaming from her new house.
Could be. I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio.
Oh, wow.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Could be.
New house. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And a new recruit coming on to teach us all the aspects of comedy that we could never understand, such as why he was referred to as Cleveland Indian. Give it up for Shannon Catan.
Shannon.
Woo.
Yo.
Hey.
What's up?
Thanks for gracing us, Shannon. Who else we got outside of the core team? Now we have, a man who's been with us almost every week. I think every week, our resident time guy and Frank Nebula impersonator, Lamar Todd.
Hey.
Always yelling out when you've gone over time. That's thank you. And then Brandon T. Gorin, our friendly man with the ventriloquist dummy. Oh, and it's right there. Oh no, he's not. I thought you were gonna pull it up. That's.
I can't. I drew a picture of John Deere though. Do you guys want to see it?
Yeah, let's see it.
Picture of John Deere.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
That's pretty good.
That is incredible.
That's good.
Wow.
I'm working on it. I got some friends. I'm doing lump soon, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'll let you know how that comes out.
Word.
The people we know, I'm doing him. And then I'm opening it up. I'm doing 3 people at a time because I am not good at this.
That looked great. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so nice.
Goran is so good in the spotlight.
Oh, thank you.
Real.
His hair's slicked back. He's looking fresh.
I always feel like I look like I live in a trailer, and that is an accurate description of who I am.
Oh, y'all getting these alerts?
Yeah, but it looks like you write with the quill though too.
Well, no, that's true.
Oh.
Citywide curfew right now.
Yeah.
It's only not even 9 o'clock.
Wow.
And there's an Amber Alert. Oh wait, no, that's from May 15th. Y'all, I don't be reading my alerts.
Oh no! What happened?
Yeah, I can't really help that person now.
Oh!
I got Metro
late.
unless I ain't get the alert.
It was looking right at you.
You didn't get the alert?
No, the city is shut down now. I was gonna walk to 7-Eleven.
Oh, I just got it.
Yeah, be from 8 to 6 a.m.
If you don't get the alert on your phone, then it doesn't apply to
Then
you.
it doesn't. Then you can go to the store.
Yeah.
Just don't open the notification.
Oh,
I ain't opened it yet.
I didn't open it. I don't know
know.
nothing about that baby. From May 15th. I didn't.
Give me a second. Damn.
Give
Give me a second.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm in Upper Darby. I'm not in Philly.
Oh, so you don't have to stay home. Don't. Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Well, I didn't have any plans on going outside, so.
I think Frank is taken to the streets. I think he's swept up. So.
Well, Jared, you were with him last. Is he?
Yeah, he went over to. He had his sister.
Oh yeah, he had a birthday party.
So he said he was going to be on.
I like my story better.
What part of the city did you guys go?
We were just chilling on the art museum steps, and they were coming. They were marching.
Oh.
Yeah, they were marching back from City Hall, and then they did like a little speech for like an hour, and then they marched back to City Hall. So a lot of cardio today. I was like, you know what?
Not for you.
If somebody carries me, I'll go.
Jared, when you said marching, did you indicate with your hands what?
Can y'all hear those fireworks? Do I have to mute?
No.
I don't want. Okay, good.
What do you say, Goran? Like,
Go ahead, Goran.
When Jared said marching, he indicated with his hands what marching was. I just want everyone to. So they were marching.
Jared, you really look like the person who could have been at the front of the marching band with the baton. I think that.
I used to do a little routine when I was younger, like a baton routine that my mom would make me do. At like when you have people over, they'd be like, Jared, do your little baton routine, and I would do it.
If I found out Freddie Mercury was going into hiding and it turned out to be Jared, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Those pounds on, maybe. You're into the light, into the night. But
Jared, you look like pop art. You look like, yeah. You look like a poster.
It's freaky what it does to my eye, though.
Mm-hmm. Why does it just take that side? Why does it make you Phantom of the Opera with the graphic?
I feel like the lights on that side. Like, what? I'm gonna turn off the light, see what happens. Oh!
Oh no! Gone.
I was like, the graphic kind of matches how his audio normally is. So.
No one is safe. No one is safe from Shaylin's roasts.
I would never roast anybody.
You roast everyone all the time.
Not one time. There's a whole tree. You guys see that? There's a tree in here.
What kind of what kind of leaf is that, yo?
It's a rosemary.
Is that a takeout?
Is that like one of those a mint julep?
I don't know. It's some type of spritz. My stepsister gave it to me, so I'm drinking it. And then I got sangria over here.
Okay, it's that kind of.
I miss drinking, man. I picked a hell of a time to quit drinking.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever seen Airplane?
Yeah, no, I've seen it before.
He's like, I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
No, I haven't. Puff and Gold Paint is the only way I can get through the day right now.
Man, he ain't been a good fucking screwball comedy out in like fucking 20 years.
Since the Scary Movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, scary.
Like,
I was trying to think, yeah.
They're not investing in that shit. If it ain't Spider-Man or bringing in like $1 billion, dog, they ain't.
Yeah.
Did you guys see movie 43?
Oh yeah, so it was alright. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Like some, all right, like bits, but the first two scary movies are hilarious. So.
Yeah, that tiny-handed man makes me laugh just thinking about him right now.
Yeah.
Did y'all talk about what's happening in the world? What is? I'm now ready to hear. What is happening?
Nobody say shit about it, Cat. Not yet, Master.
Nobody said.
Not yet. So they flipped over a car and shit downtown Philly.
Apparently 3.
Apparently they're looting.
They burned 3 of them.
Yeah, they're just all.
Then like they said, a lot of motherfuckers they be locking up be out of town people.
Yeah,
like
I think that's a false narrative that they're trying to push. I don't know how real that is.
Yeah, that takes a lot of commitment to leave your town just to fuck up another town.
Yeah, dog. That's a lot.
Fuck up your own town. I don't know.
Yeah, if I'm gonna fuck up my own town, though, I could go to someone else's town.
It's like comedy, but with riots, you know?
Y'all are terrible at thinking like spies or even like the U.S. government. Why are y'all thinking like regular ass human beings when this is about power? This is about
I was
power.
thinking it makes sense. Yeah. I was gonna say 80%. If you get more people rioting, all you need is one trigger, and now you got the narrative that says, "See, those people are violent," you know, and it takes away from the true narrative that people are fucking up and the police need to do better. So easy. One person just needs to cause all this, and they'll bring a group so it looks like it's cause and mayhem. You know, you get 4 people doing something, everyone else is like, "All right, this is what we're doing."
Have you all watched the series Who Shot Malcolm X? Or is it Who Killed Malcolm X? Have you seen it?
I watched a couple episodes on it.
So good. I mean, they're former FBI employees who are like, yeah, that's what we did. Like, you don't have to shoot a person. No, you just, you know, you help it out, you let it play out. You don't actually have to do it.
What
this is intelligence. What is it called?
No, what is it on? Like what?
Netflix.
I think it's Netflix. Yeah. Really interesting about just like letting conflict go and escalating conflict until the inevitable happens.
They have a name for it. So, I mean, if you internally have a name for shit like that, which is the self-cleaning oven, which is horrifying. Like, names don't come from nothing.
Yeah, names are the last step of the thing usually.
Yeah, I
Usually
mean,
you developed every part of it, and then you're like, oh, we'll come up with this name.
What are we gonna call this?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're doing this so much it has to have a name.
Oof.
Probably
I don't know if it's true. What, Jared?
Oh no, it's probably worse if they come up with the name first, and they're like, "What's that imply?" And they'll just like come up with the.
Yeah, I don't think they did NW. I don't think they thought up with the name first, and then we were like, "We're gonna add the attitude now."
Yeah.
When I think of self-cleaning oven, let me think.
One of those sex moves. Oh, yeah, I did the self-cleaning oven last night. Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. We're just gonna put you on mute.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it. Wow, that's embarrassing.
Oh, you don't have the power?
I do not. I don't think. Oh,
Zoom
well,
Master sent you with the power. Zoom Master, you sent out all the power?
No, if
That's
anybody,
all right. It's your time, Zoom Master.
If anybody shouldn't have the power right now, it's certainly.
It looks like he is. He's all happy, but like hiding his smile. He's like, no, I'm not.
Y'all know they burned Starbucks near City Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I saw up in smoke.
That's my least favorite Starbucks, so it's fine.
Is it like right outside of City Hall? Is that?
Yeah, but
It's right. It's right next to it. It's like in the little court there.
That's what I thought.
I think I got lost at Starbucks before, so.
You got lost at a Starbucks. See, I don't trust them. See?
They said no more donuts and coffee.
Wait.
Any place that doesn't just let you
Starbucks?
use the bathroom?
Yeah, they fucked up. They burnt it and then they were throwing pastries.
Shit! Ah! I'm sorry. I'm not happy, but I'm happy.
Yeah, fuck Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't let.
I mean, they should have done the one near Rittenhouse if they're gonna do one.
Exactly.
The one that arrested those black guys. I mean, I'm not saying they should have, but I'm not saying they shouldn't have. You know?
Wow, the lawyer.
Oh, they know. They know who it was for. Sometimes you gotta burn the nearest Starbucks you can get. They know who it's for. Y'all, this is when we say all our problematic shit they could go back and dig up.
You get that Negro on 38th Street.
Everything I say is a joke. I don't mean any of this. It's my disclaimer.
Can you do a disclaimer about how we talked about the FBI for like 5 minutes? Can you write about that too?
I didn't
about
say shit. I was quiet, but yeah, there's a disclaimer for everyone.
Though. We said things that have been documented.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Netflix documented something. Kat happened to watch it.
I mean, it's true.
She's
It's on
reporting
Netflix.
on it.
Everybody know Netflix is law, okay? And if it's not law yet, it becomes law. Like that child who got locked up for confessing. That child. Didn't something happen with that? No? Okay. Like the man who killed his wife. Like the man who kept killing people. That
The
one
Durst
documentary?
dude. Yeah,
There's a lot of those.
The not Fred Durst dude.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
Not Fred Durst. Yes, exactly. This dude ain't never made a song. But that dude. Yeah.
One of the good
Really narrows it down. Not Fred Durst. The guy is not Fred Durst.
His
The one
name
about
is
him.
like Fred Durst, but it's not. He's not.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
Fred Durst put out a shirt that just said "It's not me," and that is very funny. Good job. A lot of not great stuff happened in here, Fred Durst. That was excellent.
Yeah, it's
Also,
documented.
Let me put this out on the internet again. If anyone needs to call or text or anything, I am here. Probably not a first choice, but I will talk to you about stuff. Okay, so we can spitball and we can work on feelings and shit. Not the best choice, but I am here.
Thanks for that. While you're saying that, I also want to say if anybody needs to talk, I know these are difficult times. After all, it's a pandemic. Absolutely call Goran. Call Goran. Not me, nigga. Call Goran. Call Goran.
If anyone takes it up, it's just gonna be like, yeah, no, things are fucked up. You are right. You have every right to be mad. Yeah, people can't wait too much about fuck. I don't give a fuck about those. But anyway, we gotta go. You watching Netflix?
Sometimes it's all you need.
So
all you
one
need.
time, this is
Sounding board.
one of my favorite sad stories. One time I was in a really rough space and I called the suicide hotline and I cursed, and the lady on the suicide hotline was like, "Hold the fuck up, do not curse." I think about that like once a month.
She told you not to curse.
Yeah.
Like, you can kill yourself, but please do not curse.
No.
My favorite part about that was Gordon saying, "This is one of my favorite sad stories," because you have multiple. Like, I have a list of favorite sad stories, and this is one.
Yeah, I mean, usually when something real fucked up happens to you, you're in a moment where you're like, I gotta find something funny in here if I'm gonna live. And like that lady, I'm close to the edge, and that I'm like, I'm so close to the fucking edge, and that lady was like, "I'm sorry, language." And I'm like, "You got me back. Dang it." I don't know if that was her plan, like just like smack me out of it, just be like, "Oh no, it's so fucking sad." She's like, "Whoa, language, dude." Also, if you do call the suicide hotline and you get, there's like I don't know if anyone's ever called it, and you call and you put the wrong numbers in, and you get to the wrong place, and you're like for the wrong thing, they'll be mean to you, and that's very
Is that is the suicide hotline like a phone sex hotline? You can start choosing your favorites.
Yeah.
You're like, is Leanne on right now?
Hey, is Becky there? Because Becky feels
she's got empathy.
Becky's okay when I swear.
Also, I'm close to the edge. I'm like, can I talk to your supervisor or something? I don't know. But yeah, I'm here, and do what you can do to survive, folks.
Yeah.
I just saw that the, not to be too sad, or this is important. If you break curfew, it's a $1,000 fine and 90 days in jail.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm about to break it just to call their bluff.
Yeah, right?
And that's pretty wild.
What up?
I still gotta walk my dog. That's wild.
There's a lot of sad dogs now. See, it's not just fireworks now. Now it's all kinds of things stopping your dog from having their joy.
This shit is fucking crazy, man. That
shit is
I
fucking.
feel dumb. Like I feel like I need to be doing some shit, turning over a car or something.
They burned 2 down, so I think
I'm just gonna burn this up for right now.
Oh hell yeah!
And they got an Old Navy, right?
Yeah, an Old Navy. My brother works for a store that's on Walnut, and they looted that. So I think most of the stores on Chestnut and Walnut they went into.
I've been followed at Old Navy. I've actually been followed. Someone even like came up to me outside a store once and searched my backpack. And yeah, I happen to have like law books, something that said I was a lawyer, and I pulled the book out. I was like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. So, Old Navy, better policies, better policies. I'm not a good, why y'all following me?
Because they think you were stealing $1 flip-flops?
Yeah. Exactly. Who gonna steal from the clearance section? Because that's the only place I shop at Old Navy. I know y'all aren't paying $10 to make this. Why am I, ain't nobody stealing from the clearance section.
Old Navy sounds like a racist store name anyway.
Exactly. And I gave them a pass on that name. You don't start nothing with old if you want me shopping there. Nothing.
Old Navy clearance.
I'm like Old City.
That shit already looked like it been looted already.
That's true.
It always, yeah.
It's all scattered and shit, and fucking belts on the floor and shit. It's like, oh shit, oh, that's on sale.
Yeah, no one's ever walked out of an Old Navy feeling good about themselves ever.
No. I was trying to condo some of my clothes, and definitely the Old Navy ones were consistently not bringing me joy.
No, absolutely.
I bought some socks today from Family Dollar. Yeah, I needed socks, and you can't buy socks anywhere. And I was like, oh shit, Family Dollar.
What's the material like? What is it like? You know, how they feel, man.
Oh, I ain't run home and put them on. Like I just bought them like a couple hours ago.
You have to understand, New Sock Day is a big day for Jared.
I have to rotate them.
You don't see anymore, and it bums me out. It's those socks with the red line on top or the double red line. I miss those.
I feel like they stopped making those like 30 years ago. Okay. And anyone who has them, they were like handed down or some shit.
The elastic is all gone.
Yeah.
Oh, Cecily's here. I got power. Thank you, Massa. Thank you. Hey, Cecily, we were just talking about socks.
Hey, Matt, Cess.
Hey.
I was sleeping, and then I looked at my phone and was like, "Oh, I was supposed to be somewhere."
Amber Alert didn't wake you up?
I was supposed to be on my
No, I don't have the alert on my phone because I turned it off. Like, I have an Android and I turned it off, and I don't get them anymore because
You don't care about white girls getting kidnapped?
In cars. In cars that are stolen.
It's always like a Honda Civic.
I know, it's always a sensible car.
It's always like a silver Honda Civic. You're looking for, you're like, everyone drives that.
Sometimes it's an old white person who's lost too. Don't ignore that one. They're called code silvers, and I think that's kind of mean. You know, like their hair because they're old. Yeah, I get it.
And their car color.
Right.
Yeah, there is an age when your car just becomes gold or silver, and that's just what your life is.
You can see it in the dark. You need a car you can see in the dark. Yeah, I hear so. Sometimes we talk about, well, we all got our curfew alerts at the same time. I think that happened live. We all, the city was like, okay, enough is enough. Stay home till 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was already going to be home. So my mom just told me, and I was like, where did you think I was going? I just woke up and it's dark. I'm not going anywhere anyway. So
I kind of wish this happened when I was a kid, like so I could be home and like getting ready to leave, and like my parents, they kind of don't want me to leave, but then they had that moment where they let me go, like go on board, you know, you know, like that little movie moment. I want that shit. Like when they both just see me leave out the door, Daddy, I got to go. Y'all fought like this back in the day. Why? Let him go, baby.
Yeah, do what you gotta do, son.
Yeah.
Did that? Did little Michael Evans do that? Did he do that?
I don't know. I feel like it's.
I feel like I've seen. Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
Daddy, I got to go.
Yeah, I ain't going out there. I ain't going. I've been out for other things. I don't judge people out there. I can't go out there.
I'm happy they're out there, but a little too old. Just a little bit. It just happened recently where I'm like, I'm
good for a good 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got to rotate because it look like some of them get tired, man, saying them chants, man. Like
the chants are tiring. I've been out there.
Yeah.
And other times.
Just up there, you know, Joe Justice. Oh, P. Ooh. Damn, can you do this time?
Yeah. And they added a whole line to it. It was like, no justice, no peace.
Oh,
arrest his racist ass police.
Oh, I heard that. Oh,
no, that's too much. No.
It was fucking out wow, but then they got the rhythm. Dude had the drums. The drums got the beat.
Don't
They
tailor
heard that beat. They was like, hold on.
Department. Let's make this broad.
No police.
See, I couldn't do protests because I have no rhythm. So like I just fuck up everybody else.
My favorite is when there's a lull and then there's too many people start trying different chants and they can't.
We gotta figure out. Okay, let's all stop.
Coordinate.
Yeah, it was this dude. He kind of started chanting. He had it down pat. And he had probably like 20 people saying it, but then they were saying Black Lives Matter in the back, and that shit took over his shit.
What do you do? That's the cipher. You gotta let it go.
But he was disappointed though. He looked back. He was like, "What?"
He practiced it 30 minutes in the mirror before he left the house.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna look mad.
And people giving speeches, but like they clearly did not organize who was
their thoughts. I mean,
groups of people on this race.
Yeah.
Like person with the microphone and then this person with their own like speaker pad screaming over each other, and like you see them looking at each other like, who's talking? I thought it was my turn.
Yeah.
Also, people don't know how to stop fucking talking if they're not comedians. Like we're trained, like 5 minutes is up. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to listen anymore. But like you go there, you give somebody a microphone who's never had it, they'll just go on until you slap them or something.
And there was a point where there were people who kept heckling the person speaking. So he's like, all right, whoever wants to speak, come up. So many people lined up to talk. Oh man. Yeah, and then I honestly, I understand what she was trying to do, but there was a white woman who was like, I'm white. And I was like,
No. Shaylin, why'd you do that at the protest, Shaylin?
I was just trying to help out. I don't know. I was trying to speak to the manager. I thought that they might listen to me.
She was making.
She was there during my accessibility talk.
Yeah, she's accessible for Shannon, trying to describe what the fuck was going on.
I was like, everybody, Shannon, I just want to let you know that I'm white.
She's like, I got that. I got
by
that.
now.
I felt it before you even spoke. I could feel
No, you heard me trying to clap off the beat before this.
That is...
Have you seen the meme with the lady with the sign that says, I'd like to speak to the manager of systematic racism?
Yeah, Karen.
Karen.
That was Karen for Justice.
Karen for Justice.
Oh. Good. That's very funny. Good job. That's fine, right?
Yeah, they was out there.
Yeah.
They did more than what I did today.
Yeah.
The Karens was out there.
Karen for Justice. That's hilarious.
Karen's is on the front lines and all the CNN shit everywhere, man. They out there. They just ain't working on top of cop for.
I have feelings about Karen because sometimes people will joke about Karen when they're Karening, and I'm like, I think that's not allowed. I don't think you're allowed to joke that you're a Karen when you're Karening.
It's out there now. Shit.
That's cheap. I know.
I just like the verb Karening. That's the first time I've heard it in a sentence, and I appreciate that.
I just tried that live on the host test.
It was founded here,
May
30th, 9:20 p.m.
Simon,
Mandy put in the paperwork already.
I got the minutes, yeah, we're gonna get that registered. Yeah, we got IP for that.
Intellectual property.
Karening, I like that.
Karening, TM.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that I got to hear it before I read it because I would say Carney. I know I would immediately.
Right.
I work with a lady whose name is spelled Karen, and she's like, no, it's Karen, and she gets.
I've met someone like that. Oh my gosh, is she black?
She is not.
I know a black person like that, and I'm trying to make that a bit. I met this person like 10 years ago, but she says, "Oh no, my name is Karen." No, bitch, your name is Karen. It's not my fault. Your parents couldn't spell, or like. But the thing is, like, I don't. It was wild. Like she would get like mad about it. Like you spell your name is Karen.
I mean, if my name is lie.
Like if you can tell me it's Karen, I'll call you Karen. That's fine. But don't get mad at me if I pronounce Karen after reading Karen.
Nah, you got that. Once you say that, like, okay, you right. Like you got a problem with that. Fuck that. I'm leaving you alone.
Sometimes I'm like, they spell their name real stupid, and then I'm like, oh wait, this is my name. No one knows how to say my name. I accept anything. If you're trying to sound it out and it's kind of right, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna correct you. But if you say Sheelin, I'm gonna be like, I understand.
Listen, if anyone mispronounces Shaylin's name, they're a bad person.
If anyone
I've never done
mispronounces
that
my
before,
name,
so
they can be the prettiest comic in Philadelphia. So.
I'm pretty sure I am on the record for mispronouncing every comedian in Philadelphia's name wrong. Every single one. Like there isn't one I've gotten right yet.
You want to try to mispronounce all our names?
Your own name the other day because it was Braden.
Yeah, it's so true. Your name too. Yeah.
So that's fine.
That's a cruel twist. That's a monkey's paw if I've ever heard one.
Shaylin's name is like a signal to Black people. It's like your parents were trying to say something to us, Shaylin. Because I feel like if you mispronounce Shaylin, you ain't Black. I feel like going Joe Biden about that because it's in there. Shea butter, we use it.
Shea butter, yeah.
We put Lynn's at the end of stuff. We combine names. It just feels.
It's Black adjacent. It's Black adjacent.
Yeah, yeah. You can still put it on a resume. Almost. You can still kind of put it on a resume.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's getting iffy.
I know. Shayla, do you go with S for she? Because I might with your name, girl. I don't know that I could walk in.
No, I just put my own name. But also my last name is weird too, and people are like, "What is this?" And I'm like, I don't know.
I feel like you go by Lynn in some circles.
Shaylin has not gotten as many job opportunities as her skin would have you think. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. That was my goal in life. I was going to adopt white kids and name them Black names.
That's amazing.
That's like you missed it, but Jared was almost named Mustafa by his mother. So
oh yeah,
could have been a collab effort there.
That would have been fun.
I feel like I would have been different. Like I feel like there's a lot of like personality in a name. I feel like I would have been different.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
You definitely don't look like a Mustafa.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I would have grown to look like one. Who knows?
You would fight, and your voice would be deeper if your last name, if your name was Mustafa.
I think you'd have like a ponytail, like flip back.
Yeah, I probably have like my hair slicked back.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe even cornrows. I don't know. Like,
oh yeah.
You would wear tank tops a lot if your name was Mustafa.
Like, what's up?
He wears tank tops now.
No, but he would wear them like Satoyo wears them. Like, just that's all he has.
He's
like a little bit of nipple showing.
Got like a tank top suit on, just everything.
Tank top suit. Who said that?
That would be fucking slick.
No, Satoyo would look fucking awesome in a tank top suit.
Yeah.
Like everyone's seeing it in their heads. We gotta have.
Somebody make that for Satoyo.
I like how nobody was seeing that in their head other than Brandon.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Satoyo, right now, right.
But then I started picturing it to catch up. I didn't want to be left out. I started picturing.
I was like, are we seeing Satoyo on a Zoom?
was not picturing it either, but I did want Brandon so bad. I had to actively switch what I was thinking about before.
Yeah.
All right. I'll play along. Help a bit.
Yeah, Shaylin is a roaster. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine.
Careful, Cat. She's coming for you.
I've had a lot of these drinks with the tree in them. You can't eat the tree.
What?
Well, I think you can. It's rosemary. You can probably eat it.
Yeah, you can.
It wouldn't be great.
Yo, rosemary like expensive as shit too, cuz it's like I saw it like the whole rosemary stem and shit in the bottle was like $30 or something like that.
Oh dang.
I didn't buy it.
And vanilla, the little vanilla stems and shit, they're like $9 for like 2 of them dishes. I was like, what the fuck is?
Yeah.
So expensive.
Yeah.
Cashews.
Oh fuck cashews, especially whole cashews.
Fuck cashews.
You ever grind them up? They're pretty good if you grind them up.
I love a good ground up cashew with some vinegar in it because it tastes like ranch dressing and I can't.
Well, we're the two whitest people in this guy, Brandon.
They traded recipes.
They did. They got vegan real quick. Did you hear that shit? You hear how quick they go vegan?
I just really love that I wasn't included in the whitest people. And
No, well, I think the two of us are whiter than you at this point. I don't know. Damon, I'm not white, if you're asking.
I used to,
It's just pretty.
I'm pretty.
I used to put ranch dressing on my spaghetti, so.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Yeah.
now you are the whitest person in here.
Yeah, it's like
And by here, I mean the internet.
burrito.
It's wild.
You just put that in there. It's good. Everything's fine.
Like
That's what'd you say, Cecily?
I wouldn't tell anybody that.
Like, I wouldn't tell me that. I wouldn't tell Cecily that.
It's okay to make mistakes in the past and move on from them.
She said like she's recovered from it. This was me in the old days.
She had a problem. She went to therapy. She went to rehab.
Yeah, wait, how old were you and were you on drugs at the time? So I was doing, like, I used to put mayonnaise just on bread and eat that, but I was having other shit.
Let's not talk about
Yeah, so I was like,
Cecily is setting a boundary.
Oh my god, he had a mayonnaise sandwich.
She didn't know she was in a Zoom chat with
I'm
people
pretty
eating
sure I've
mayonnaise
had
sandwiches.
Miracle Whip sandwiches when my family was doing Miracle Whip. We got over that. I'm pretty sure.
I was
Sorry,
a Miracle Whip
Cecily.
family growing up too.
You were a Miracle. See?
Was that by choice or was that by like poverty though? Like we had a lot of terrible stuff growing up, pork and beans with everything out the can, but like it was poverty more than choice.
I will never know. You know what? Because children eat pork and beans because it's sweet and it's hot dogs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Well,
will
we'll
never-
do it. We'll do it with everything though. We did like my dad did hot dogs with melted American cheese, hamburger helper and hot dogs, pork and beans and hot dogs.
Why are you describing the staples of my childhood like they're suffering food? I don't understand this.
That's like, was it like this was forced food, but like it sounds like they ate mayonnaise sandwiches.
Is
and
Lamar eating that
ranch
now?
spaghetti.
He's got
Lamar's eating hamburger, pork and beans.
Man is eating.
So Lamar and Shannon planned this bit. That was fantastic.
Shannon Lamar is
Shannon sent Lamar a private message, yo, cook up some pork and beans. Don't ask questions. Just eat it around 9:30 p.m. Don't even worry about it, bro. It's about to be epic.
This is good.
Lamar didn't ask any questions. You just did it.
Put them in my Tupperware. Bet. I ain't gonna use a spoon. I'm gonna use a fork so you feel sad about the juices dripping between the
I like the
tops.
juices. I don't like that. I like the juices to drip through. Well, I want the beans. That's all I'm here for. Really, all right, okay. I really made that shit like an hour ago. And as soon as I heard beans, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, they cold and shit. That was disgusting. That was like they cold.
That was perfect.
Anything for the left.
I'm trying to figure out what Miracle Whip is because I have no idea what it's made out of.
Don't look it
Nor
up.
do I. I don't think I want to know.
I feel like whatever you're doing, don't look it up.
It's eggs and shit, right?
That's what mayonnaise is.
Mayonnaise is eggs, kind of.
Yeah, and oil, right? It's supposed
Yeah,
to be.
mayonnaise is eggs and oil.
And
I did not know
Miracle
that.
Whip is like mayo adjacent.
Yeah.
Like
It's
almost,
like mayonnaise and Cool Whip.
and like maybe some sugar in there.
Yeah.
Relish,
Or like a
relish
lot
as
of like
well.
chemical binders.
So Miracle Whip is like black mayonnaise. Is that it?
I think it was for a couple years in the 80s.
Okay.
Are people still doing that?
I may have missed it.
That's how I grew up, was on Miracle Whip. I didn't have mayonnaise when I was grown up.
Oh man, Miracle Whip is the worst. Yeah, I'm a purist. Mayonnaise right out of the tub.
Oof.
Jared.
Right now.
See, Mustafa wouldn't eat that shit. Mustafa would be disgusted.
Yeah, there's that Mustafa in the back of my mind that's always like, secretly judging me, and I'm like, oh,
Mustafa's like, I want that purple stuff.
Mustafa.
Oh shit! Good call.
I have my dad's last name, but my dad's last name is Knob, and if my mom would have kept like my hyphenated last name, I could have been Jared Little Knob, and that would be.
Your act would have been set.
Yeah, I know. You knew.
God, your first five would have been the easiest first five.
I just would have said my name over and over again for 5 minutes straight. Like, this guy's a genius.
I just realized that if my last name was hyphenated, it'd be For She White, and that's right.
I don't have a middle name, so my middle name is my mom's like maiden name, which she kept. So in Asian cultures, that's how they track the lineage. You don't really have a middle name, or you have like 4 names. So you track like your mother's line and your father's bloodline. So my middle name is technically my mom's last name, which just turned into like a pun in high school. So my whole name is like Knock Dang Booey.
Dang.
Dang.
My middle name is Francis, and my last name is Paris, and France, and Paris, and yeah.
Did your parents do that on purpose?
No. Just happened.
Are your parents Catholic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so excited about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, to each their own.
Did anybody get a confirmation name?
Yeah, mine's Genesius.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's a black name.
What's that?
Hey, that sounds pretty black. All the black people are like, wait, what?
You're not Baptist. That's a
Sounds like some
Baptist
shit we made
confirmation
up. Like,
name.
what the hell?
Genesius.
Genesius.
Don't you go to the protest, Janice. You stay in this house. Go on, Janice. You go to the
He
protest.
slipped over a
Janice.
cop car for sure.
Genesius, I seen you on CNN on that car.
Genesius. Are we even saying it right?
CNN wears tank top suits and Miracle Whip just from the bottle.
Oh man, Genesius is friends with Mustafa. That's all.
Oh,
they're tight, they're close. Everybody's hiding a black ass name. Liam's Genesius, Jared's Mustafa. What the fuck?
Almost like
I'm the whitest name in here. Good God.
Yeah, Jared, if your name was Mustafa, you would slap your computer and it would get your graphic right. We did it right. Like Fonzie.
Wow.
I'm out of here. We're out.
It doesn't do the blackface on you. If it doesn't do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but just like part of it, like I became the internet.
Yeah.
What was that movie, like Invisible Man or whatever, where they like tried?
Bacon?
No, it was like really. It was like from 2000s or something.
Hollow
Where
Man.
they
Hollow
With
Man?
Kevin Bacon?
Is it Kevin Bacon?
In Hollow Man, it's Kevin Bacon.
Kevin
I think
Bacon
I've
just
seen
wants
it.
to dance.
That's true.
Also, you said a really old movie and then said 2000s, and I felt really upset.
sorry.
So like a really old movie, something from 2005. Okay, cool.
A classic.
On TCM.
Do you mean Hollow Man?
I have no idea. I was a child and I just had nightmares. So this is what they look like.
Do you remember they turned like a gorilla in that movie?
Yeah, it's the same director as RoboCop.
Yeah, Hollow Man's kind of a creepy movie though.
Yeah, no. Once you realize it's the same director as RoboCop, you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. 2 thumbs down from this man. Well, no, I liked it when I was young, so I'll give it 1 thumbs up. Go check out Hollow Man. I work for them. Try to get.
This is the quality content I need.
So I'm sitting inside and my family's outside and they keep just sending me videos of me inside the window.
Got a creepy ass family.
That's wild bully.
Not wrong. Yeah, people are like, why do you act like this? And I'm like, because my family does this to me.
Yeah, it's kind of stalkerish. It's so interesting. You like,
This is like the 4th one. We got more. Posted on their story. God damn it.
It's one thing to videotape you and be like, look what they're doing, what she's doing, haha. It's another thing to send it to you and be like, look what you look like. That's weird.
I don't want to know what I look like from the side too. Like the profile is never good.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to look good from the front and that's still like,
Yeah.
and they're like, look what you look like now. Bent over your computer.
Yeah. Thanks for showing me my posture.
Profiles are disappointing.
My posture's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
I hate those mirrors that are in front of you.
Oh
and
God.
on the side.
They try. Yeah.
Oh, you can keep that shit. No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll
You
put
just see a
up-
side of yourself you've never noticed. This is what I look like walking around all the time. My head is this big. Good God.
Yeah. Oh,
That is wild. I had no idea it went back that far.
And like dead on, I thought I looked really cool in my sleeveless suit, but from the side, it'll look like a
I thought I looked like Liam. I ended up looking like Genesius. It's just like
Patron saint of acting, actually. Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, that reads, dude. So on the Miracle Whip Wikipedia page, the main picture, let's see if I can get it in, is this, which is just terrible. I'm going to turn it sideways so you guys hopefully can see it. Folks can see it. It's just Miracle Whip on toast, but it's way too much Miracle Whip. And then there's just a blank side, and then there's nothing else. It's how I used to eat it. It's like I put this
It's
on
not even
Wikipedia.
spread out.
No, it's just squirted out on there.
They didn't even move it to the edges.
Yeah.
Too much
edges gonna be dry
accessibility.
as
Too
hell.
much accessibility. Ugh.
Shannon said, Shannon, you don't want to know about the.
Hurting my
Oh
stomach.
man,
Ugh.
that's hilarious.
I'm sorry. That's one of those. If I gotta know, you gotta know things.
Yeah, I got you.
It was kind of squirted out in the shape of a whip too. It sounds racist. I don't mean to call everything racist, but Miracle Whip also sounds racist.
Brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
I'm just saying, I don't want to call everything out.
It's all right
White
there in
thing
the
called
name.
Miracle Whip.
Most racist spread.
Did you guys eat weird snacks growing up? I mean, we know Brandon ate mayo on bread, but like any other weird combos?
Snack.
So I thought I created pizza bagels. I got bagels and I put tomato sauce on them and cheese. And then I realized, I saw a commercial, like, well, what the fuck? They took my idea. And even, that's when I wanted to become a lawyer. I was like, I need to sue them. Intellectual property theft.
It's very possible that they stole that idea from you.
I think they
know.
did, man.
Yeah.
I swear I thought I was a genius. I thought I was like George Washington Carver of like pizza bagels or some shit.
Ever hear about English muffin dudes, the Thomas motherfuckers? Like I heard they got like a lot, like some type of hold on the English muffin game or something.
The people who do Tom, what's his
nobody else
name?
really make them like that.
That's true. It's a monopoly.
Yeah, I heard some dudes saying that shit. Some little college kids saying that shit while I was driving Uber, and I was like,
conspiracy theory on bread.
Yeah, that's definitely a drunk conspiracy theory in the back of an Uber ride.
He was like, dude, think about it. Who else makes English muffins? I was like, who else? So I Googled all this shit. I was like, damn, they got a lock on the web too.
They got like YouTube videos on it and shit.
Hey, cuz.
Likes them. Like there's not.
Yo, we got some Toyo.
Hilarious.
What's up, Tor?
Yo.
What up, man?
What's going on, bros? How y'all doing?
We were just talking about you in a suit.
Oh, yeah, I was well on your wedding day?
No, we were just talking. We had this theoretical suit that you have that's a sleeveless suit, and I think it's awesome and something a Street Fighter character would have.
I do have something similar to that. It's not it's not I think it was when I was like tinier, when I was like 130. I had something like that, but I'm a little too heavy for it now, so I don't think I could fit. But I still have it. It's actually white. So, but it's in the back, so it might be oxidized now, so it may have yellow and shit, you know what I'm saying, on it.
That made me so sad at the end. I'm glad to know you had it at some point.
Yeah, I did. Hello to everyone else.
Hello.
You know, hope y'all are staying safe and all that jazz. You know, what's been going on in here?
Talking about mayonnaise.
Oh, word. Oh, yes. Yeah, never cared for the business, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's the old saying, a little dab will do you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Not
good.
Brandon.
Hope y'all are good. I'm a little jittery. I was at the protest, so I've got some nerve. A little nervy. It was good. It was good until it wasn't.
What'd you see out there?
So I went about 2:45, 3 o'clock. And here's the thing, initially, it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna front. Like, it was very, very informative. People were talking, people were speaking, and it was actually a lot of fun. Because they were just like, don't let, of course, fuck the police. Don't let these terrorists take your joy away, take your happiness away, whatever. So people were passing out pamphlets for like meetups and all this other stuff. And then it was just like people were playing music and people were dancing and singing and all this other stuff. So there was this moment where it was actually rather enjoyable. And then what began to happen, at least where I was in City Hall. So I don't know what art museum was going through, but then there became a thing, like more and more cops showed up. And that's everyone's getting on edge, obviously, because of that. And then what wound up happening is that the cops would just randomly start firing off their sirens, loud as fuck. and you would hear them do it as they're zooming by to make you think that they're coming towards you. So it started to create this really tense atmosphere, like this feeling of like pressure. So it would happen and people would like start looking around like, you know, where to go. So I got up near the front because I didn't want to be too deep in the shit because, you know, motherfuckers is shirtless and rubbing and, you know, I'm like, nigga, it's still a pandemic. So so they're doing all this and then they start defacing the Rizzo statue. And I was like, nigga, I am here for all of this. This is good. This is what we, like, if nothing else. And the cops are not really doing anything. Then they tried to set the Rizzo statue on fire, which was interesting to me. I was like, you can't burn, man. It's already in hell. Like, what you, this is redundant. You don't even need to be doing this. This is a redundancy. So, so then from there, the riot squad shows up. And then it just gets like everyone's like, ah, shit. And they pull up, and then they start playing Meek Mill's "Dreams and Nightmares," and it's so I don't know what it is. You can play that song in Philly, and the hair on the back of everyone's neck, you know, just fires up. So everyone's getting really hyped and just singing and dancing and dancing and dancing. And right when the main beat is about to drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought right when it's about to happen, the loudest siren I have ever heard just goes off
what the hell?
With a pump. And like pump. And all this, everybody just whoosh, like starts to dart. Like because like you think someone's coming directly into the center of it. So people start like dispersing. And then, one, I couldn't see him, but all I hear is like, fuck that shit. Fuck that. They ain't gonna do shit. They ain't gonna do shit. And then people started like slowly migrating back. And so I walk around because it dawns on me, I'm putting this on the internet, and it dawns on me that my mom watches my stories. So I gotta tell her now that I was there. So I process that because I'm like, nigga, you done fucked up now. You gotta talk to this woman about this. So I go around, and by the time I go around, I walk around to 15th and Chestnut. I see the Wells Fargo is just fucked up. And then I come back up to through 15th to Market and JFK. All of a sudden, the TD Bank is just ripped. And then I just see smoke. And then I just see cops. And then you're far enough away, you're like, oh, that's tear gas. You know what I'm saying? Like they've started with the shit now. Which is wild because by that point, what I'm referencing now, it's about 6:30, 7. So I don't know who these people were, but they were not there for the main part of the shit. That was from, like noon through 4 or 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, motherfuckers just showed up with hype ass energy, and then shit had to get broken. But they were nowhere for these conversations. They were nowhere for the dissemination of information about like city council members and meetup. They were nowhere for that. All of a sudden, like motherfuckers started getting loose, and that's when the cops were like, we're tear gassing everyone, we're macing everyone. And then those cats just went around and just tried to, fuck up whatever they could. I saw a bunch of boys running down Chestnut Street with bags of shoes from the Foot Locker. And I'm not gonna front, I was jealous. Because I know they had Cortezes in there, and I need those. I need that. So I was a little jealous, but no, it started to pop off from there. And then I live on Chestnut, so everyone was getting really rowdy on my block to the point that like they're outside like Philadelphia, getting like where I live really, really hyped. So, and by that point, it was I think 7:15, and then my phone told me the curfew ordinance for 8 p.m. and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. So that's what he was working with. And it's interesting because at that point, your nerves are kind of doing this all the time because it's the constant sirens. Like, it's really like after a while, like, yo, these sirens will fuck with you. Because in a moment where you think you have to chill, they just spark right back up again. And it's like, it's to put you on edge, to make you want to leave, or to make you, on some level, I think they like to see you run. Like they like to see that fear. So after a while, they kept on doing it, that it became so normal that you don't really run. You just look around to see where they are. But it's still putting your nerves through this, up and down effect. So it was something. So we on curfew for the weekend.
I feel like I feel like there was an officer trying to time that siren with Meek Mill beat.
Yeah,
like Funkmaster Flex.
Totally.
He's like, guys, I'm trying to join in. Don't run away.
No, because that fucking terrorist knew what that song was. He knew exactly what that song. And we were so hyped, and for whatever reason, when it was happening, it was like, ooh, I didn't know I needed this until I needed this. And right when it's about to drop, he just does that shit. Or she, I don't know, just does that shit.
Hold on, wait a minute.
It was like, hold up, and then
You're just saying it's
boom,
getting hot in
like,
here. It's getting hot.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, hold up, all right. You guys want to hold up all this shit.
Yeah.
To your point, though.
Yeah.
To your point of people starting late with breaking shit and like breaking windows and everything. I've seen a couple videos where there was Nazi enthusiasts and black people at protests, and both black protesters were telling the white people, "Hey, y'all need to hold up."
Yeah.
Listen. I've seen a couple videos where they were like destroying shit, and there was literally black people that are saying, "Don't do this."
Yeah.
There's some sort of malintentioned people going in on some like counterproductive shit intentionally.
Yeah.
Did you see the AutoZone thing?
Yeah, I saw the AutoZone thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw the shit.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
Was it in Minneapolis? Like, so basically what you were saying, like there was this like white guy dressed up, and he just he didn't seem to fit in with the crowd at all. And he just started like with the umbrella breaking.
What was that? Was that a Target?
No,
that was AutoZone.
It
could have happened at both.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there was a situation at a Five Guys where it was a bunch of white people just fucking shit up, and literally you see these black protesters like, "Don't do this, stop," and they don't fit into the equation at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's not like, I mean, not for nothing, agent provocateurs have been around since forever. So, you know, I mean, regardless of race, there are going to be provocateurs in you know what I'm saying? Like, but in this particular instance, and that's why, and the thing that's really, really fucked up to me is that I've had like white friends from back home will message me this shit, and they're missing the point entirely. Like, that's not an excuse to burn down property. It's like, one, I give a fuck about this property, to be perfectly honest with you, number one. Number two, why are you allowing this to take away from the issue at hand? Number three, when it's acknowledged that these people are provocateurs who are not a part of this whatsoever, why can't you call out that fact as opposed to continue to bring up all of this, all of this like destruction that's happening in some of these situations where it's not these peaceful protesters? It's like, why are you continuing to feed into that when you have seen obvious evidence that the violence that you're speaking on is not done by the people that you think it's being done by? And they refuse. They keep on wanting to go back to the narrative of you shouldn't destroy your community and you shouldn't destroy this. I had one white girl on IG. I had to check her, and I've known her since high school. She was like bringing up like, this is not an excuse to destroy a black business. And I was like, girl, this video is from the 90s. Like, what the fuck are you? So this is not even relevant to the situation that's going on right now. I get it. You fuck a black dude, so you think that, you know, you have love and capacity for blacks and whatever else, but you need to stop with this shitty narrative that realistically doesn't hold up. And also, for the record, I don't care if people of color are fucking up a Foot Locker or you can't bring me to care. I don't have to care about this in comparison to actual lives being lost and injustice continually being served. You asking me to pick? That's an easy choice.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Absolutely. So I have a friend who is like out in the protests in DC, and the way you were explaining where everything was good for hours, and as they were driving away, there was like, they said there was like smoke bombs, like something triggered something where there was nothing and then there was everything immediately. And yeah, so there's something like fishy with that.
And that's what
Toyo described a well-orchestrated event. You described it, the sirens as signals for escalation. Like what you described as a series of events.
Yeah, because honestly,
y'all niggas not paranoid enough is what I'm trying to say.
Well, when I got there, because I knew, I was like, for one, I see the cops kind of closing in, so they're kind of, you know, the cops are closing in around us, so you technically have nowhere to go. So I was like, oh no, that's the pit right there. I was like, listen, I've seen how Napoleon had his Waterloo moment. No. Like, So you won't be around it. But literally, when you get there, initially people were kneeling in solidarity. People were speaking in solidarity. Like there was a plan. There was like, here's what we're doing at 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock, all this shit. And that was the case for a minute. And you know, I can understand the protesters being like, well, we shouldn't have to leave. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what the agitators were banking on. We know they're gonna be there at 7 o'clock, and that's when we can get loose. You know, like we can start to turn up and get real loose right then and there, because I didn't like it. It was just weird. It was weird. It was weird. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm like, who is doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've been seeing the same motherfuckers for hours in this area, and I'm far enough away in certain instances. I can see from the beginning of the block to the end of the block, and there ain't nobody going this way or that way. Where are these fuckers coming from?
That shit didn't even look right when I seen it on the news, and I saw the car flipped over. I was like, yo, this Philly? I was like, I don't think Philly would. I mean, I don't know everybody in Philly, but I don't feel like Philly would do that.
Well,
like,
at the Super Bowl, they did.
Yeah.
That was joy.
Yeah. But that was
joy.
Yeah, that was a little different. I fucked up some shit.
I think, and again, I wouldn't even put that on the citizen. I believe they burned a cop car. And then I think they left a sign that said like "Let pigs fry" or something to that effect. I wouldn't, if that was a citizen, I wouldn't be tight about it, because it was right where what I'm describing, where everything was happening. That was the cop car, and it was right in that. It was right in that shit. And I don't think a citizen's car was even allowed to be on the block at this time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so I think if there was, that's unfortunate. But for the most part, there were all cop cars there.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah.
I heard there was a brawl or something.
I guess yeah, sure. I don't deny. I mean, it's when the shit got heavy and like you saw the cops get out on feet. Here's one thing I will give the Philly cops in this regard that I think was helpful, is that they were not all in riot gear. So a lot of them were still plainclothes, and even when the shit was popping off, they were in their regular garb, walking around, as opposed to being, because in Columbus last night, where I'm from, all them fools was in riot gear off rip. So they and when you're watching someone in riot gear do that for hours, you're it's agitating. It's stressful, because they only mean to do you harm. So in this instance, there were Philly cops. I think most of them were just in their regular gear. So even when the shit was popping off, they were walking around and telling people where they could and could not go. But as I was walking home, crossing Broad and Chestnut, you know, on Broad and Chestnut, where they got like those big ass potted plants, them shits was turned over. Like,
wow.
I saw people flipping it over.
Flipping that shit over, them shits was on the ground. And that's where I was like, them plants ain't do nothing. That's not needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm looking, and one of my homies was like, yo, I'm a bike. I should probably like go down south and then bang up Walnut. And I was like, nah, nigga, you are going down to Washington and then banging up Broad Street. You need to get away from all that. And they hit me up and they were like, yeah, I saw a Walnut and it was on fire.
On fire. Yeah, 17. They said 17 and Walnut. There's like a major fire right now, burning.
I used to work down 16th and Walnut.
And not
burn, motherfucker, burn.
and
he's like, I wish it was me who did it.
Yeah. Well, and not for nothing, there was I watched I don't know if y'all watched the press conference with Mayor Kenny and the police people and everything like that.
Yeah,
they acknowledged that they were like, we don't think these were the protesters. They were like, look, we think this behavior is unacceptable, but we don't think that this was the people that were peacefully protesting, because it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they came out publicly like, we will not stand for injustice against Black people, whatever. But they multiple one of them said like this, we don't think that this was them, because that doesn't make sense.
Very good. Very good. That's very powerful for people to hear, because Gotta know. They gotta know.
People need to hear it because people have a difficult time believing that the badness in the world could actually direct itself in a particular. I think people believe that there's badness, but not that it could be so focused as to destroy, like right before your eyes, I think. I remember in Occupy somebody bringing up provocateurs to me. It had never really occurred to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you think about it in all those situations, I mean, you know, the Bay of Pigs, you know what I'm saying? That's a provocateur. Those are provocateurs. I mean, you know, like COINTELPRO, it's nothing but provocateurs.
Provocateurs.
You know, these are people that are going to go in there. And the thing about it, and again, we shouldn't be confused as to why with these MAGA rallies, with these people that want to open up America, we shouldn't be surprised that we're hearing no incidents of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this goes beyond, oh, you have to be accountable for behavior. I mean, to me, yeah, of course you got to be accountable for behavior, but what's more likely? Like, that just doesn't make sense. You know what
I'm saying? The MAGA people are threatening government officials.
Yeah, and guess
what? The MAGA people.
Guns in Michigan. Yeah.
Oh, totally. But you notice there's no provocateurs there banging shit. There's none of that happening for some weird reason. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know. So it was really, really dope until it wasn't. Even the tense moments where it was like, okay, I'm glad that I'm here, you know, type of thing. And I didn't want to stay away, but I knew it's like, if I want to be in this, I got to figure out the best way to do it, you know? So, but there was definitely a feeling of, all right, you got to get back safely. Because not only was it wasn't just like the energy was turning. No, you could aesthetically see shit going very, very bad. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden it's like cars can't cross Broad Street, you know, and motherfuckers like glass is breaking, businesses are fucked up, and it's like, all right, well, it's that time. You know.
The provocateur thing is also brilliant because of like what you said, which is that you looked in there and you were like a little bit jealous because you knew your shoes were in there. You knew they were in there. And I think a normal, good person, not a criminally disposed person, a normal, good person sees the opportunity to get some free shit along with everybody else. And then there you are caught up. And they have footage of you with their facial recognition technology looting during a protest because you are a normal human. And this is why people have to get their brains together and stop following what's in your fucking scroll. Stop just following what's in your news feed. Because if you're provocateur prone, that's it. That's your life, yo. That's the movement right there.
And no, you bring up a really good point because look at the aftermath of Katrina. You know what I'm saying? Are those people looting? Like, I mean, I guess maybe by definition they are, but these are good people that are like, nah, you don't understand. I need this right now. And of course, the circumstances in that are a bit more dire, but it's still like, yo, but yeah, like all of a sudden, just because that person is taking something does not make them a bad person. The opportunity was there and they took it. That is actually the American way. That's the American way.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
And Old Navy about to write off all that stuff, you know what I mean? So it is actually gonna come out in the wash.
So Tyler doesn't have shoes, but he's got 13 pairs of khakis. So
right. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, imagine if I don't know if they banged up the H&M, but I'm like, they got nice pants in there. You know, like
I want to hear them comeback commercials like they got for COVID. Right, we're with you.
You think they didn't like niggas before? Well, I tell you what, it's about to be Center City gonna be tough for niggas for it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Shit, it's gonna be tough without some niggas. There's so many niggas work down Center City.
Yep. So it was but yeah, it was interesting to see the amount of whites that I saw there behaving themselves. A lot taking pictures, a lot, you know, doing the thing. And that was, I did feel as though that was encouraging. I did feel as though like, especially there was a lot of young people too. Definitely a lot of young people. So I did feel like, all right, hopefully y'all were here when people were talking, so that you can get the full frame of this, because y'all have to be notified that y'all are not in charge of this. So this is one of those things where you're going to be doing an aggressive amount of listening, and that might be tough, but that's kind of what is required. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think you're not socialized to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're socialized to think they always have to be up front. And there were some talks where it's like, nah, y'all don't get to do that on this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what your function is in this, and you have to do a lot more. We appreciate your intention and your effort, but here's where the listening must begin, and the true acknowledgement of not understanding, and also understanding that not understanding is okay. You can recognize and see without fully having to understand that feeling, because how can you? You know what I'm saying? But it can be okay that you don't fully understand, so long as you recognize this reality and this truth. We ain't asking we're not asking you to get it. We're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, one dude was like, I'm not asking you to get this. I'm asking you to know that this is real. I would appreciate that more than you getting it in your feelings, because that might be impossible.
Yeah, that's where I heard somebody when I was at Family Dollar buying socks earlier. The lady at the register, she was like talking as a white lady at one of the register, and she was talking to this Muslim chick. She's like, and I don't understand it, but I feel I understand, what's going on. And I was just like, shut the fuck up, ring that shit up, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, ring that shit. I mean, because it's just like sometimes you see what's going on, just like what you said. You know what I mean? Just let it be. Don't try to, you know what I mean? Because you'll never really truthfully.
White people want to coordinate, man. They want that clipboard, and sometimes that's difficult. That's not their natural habitat, is to be like step back and listen. But I appreciate that there's people actually making that effort to listen, and you're seeing more of it.
Word.
Yeah.
White people, do y'all agree with what the Cleveland Indians said about
That happened? Happened?
No, that white people like to coordinate. I do find like a supervisory urge.
Well, it's the comfortable position from what it seems like. I mean, since it's so socialized, it's like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even confuse me why white people feel this way generally, because they've always been put in that position. So it's just it's the assumption. It's like, especially if you come from a background in an environment that is somewhat middle class and well-to-do. Now, if you dirt poor, that may be a little tougher, you know what I'm saying? But if you middle, some version of middle class and whatever else and everything, even if you yourself are not comfortable as an individual with leading the ship, a lot of your friends and your family who just jump into that position and assume that position is for them. I mean, there's no greater example than when Obama was president. It made a lot of white people wildly, wildly uncomfortable who would never, ever consider themselves racist. It was simply because a black guy was the boss. That's all they saw. All they saw. The black guy was the boss. It didn't matter that he was better than his predecessors. It didn't matter that he still did some of the violent shit that they loved. Like it didn't matter that his immigration laws were tough. It didn't matter that he did drone strikes.
He dropped more bombs than anybody.
Yeah, none of that shit mattered. He was even doing their moves, and it was the fact that in their mind, a black guy is running the show. That's as simple as it was.
It's true. That was the most shock. I had a debate with this girl once, and she said Obama was soft. I'm like, that is not true. That is not accurate at all. You can say a lot of other. That is not accurate.
Nah, he was a stone cold gangster. Like he was like people forget he gave us a surplus and he gave the Affordable Care Act. That man was bombing out here. And he said,
because he's from Hawaii.
Yeah, and my man said, well, if I find Osama bin Laden, I will kill him. And then he killed him.
And then he killed him.
He killed him. He said, when y'all find him, kill him. Do we detain? Kill him.
Yeah.
He's
and
done.
Then he said that. He said that at the State of the Union. Remember when I killed that nigga?
Yeah, remember how Bush started 2 wars, couldn't find that nigga
for 3 years.
Yep. I found that nigga in 18 months, got him out of here. He's gone. Nigga's finished. Well, no. But it didn't matter, man. My man wore a beige suit and these people lost their minds. That's why, but even that's why, like, Trump, as awful as he is, there's a normalcy to it. I actually heard a white dude say, Trump makes me feel good. And the reality, on one hand, it's like, that's gross, but to me, I'm like, I think I get what you're saying. It's the aesthetic. It's the aesthetic that's there. It's that crazy bravado with no justification. It's talking out like these are things that you understand, and this seems like a more normal view of what America should look like to you with a white guy at the helm. Never mind the fact that he's incompetent. That doesn't really matter. Really, this guy makes me feel
relatability is back. They like relatability.
Yeah, we back in charge. Especially when y'all sitting here telling us that we gonna be the minority within 50 years. We don't like. I'm old. I don't like that. I'm in my 60s. I don't like that shit. What that mean for my kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
It's election year, y'all. That's all. It's election year.
Yeah.
No, I just got a phone call. That's crazy shit. Like at 9 o'clock, man, for some chick making sure I'm going to vote.
It's 10:15.
That's my date of birth. She's like, yeah. So what's your date of birth? Like, bitch, what the fuck are you for?
Can you present?
Yeah.
Maybe it's election year.
Right. Exactly. No,
Right.
literally. I mean, that's real shit. That's real shit. That's really real shit. We can't underestimate the wickedness of this man. If this man can skip an election, he will. Yeah, he's already shown you enough of his incompetence as well as his evil. We cannot underestimate the fact that this guy would let things go over, then try to be like martial law and no election.
Yeah.
Because there's precedent for a president to behave in this way, and especially when he has a Republican government, or when he has a Republican Party rather, that refuses. Like, it's like they don't really understand the evil that they have in front of him. Because the more drastic he gets, they just go with it. It's like Nazi Germany. They refuse to acknowledge how dangerous this person is and how incapable this person is for the position that they hold.
Yeah, it's for-profit evil. That's what it is. They're still getting their money, and that's all they care about. McConnell can't stand Trump. For sure he can't stand him, but he's getting money from him, and it's benefiting him. That's all he cares about.
That's how you
don't care.
Yeah. That's how you know America ain't shit. They don't care about America. They don't care about that shit.
They know. They don't care. They know he's incompetent. They know he's evil. No one cares.
Mm-hmm.
Some people got to have it. Some people really need it.
I do legitimately believe that some people are really dumb, and that's why they're going with this. It's because they're dumb, but I think the majority of people just don't care.
No, there's. Yeah, I wanted to believe people were just dumb, but yeah, I just think it's easier not to care, to just numb yourself from it and convince yourself otherwise, and just think the other side is more evil. That's the easiest thing. Just be like, nah, sure he sucked, but I'm making money and you suck more.
You have to contradict your whole lifestyle at this point. If you acknowledge Trump as bad or wrong, or to even say, you know what, I see what you guys are saying. This guy's, you have to completely admit your whole mind frame and the way you live your life is almost damn near immorally wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna take.
That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, man, because it's like, you mean I gotta give up this? I like this. Like, I gotta give this up? I don't like that. I don't want to have to get, especially when this makes my life more important than yours. You mean that has to shift a bit? I don't like that because I know how we treat y'all. And I don't want to experience none of that shit. Want to experience none of that. I'll be out. My wife hates my guts and she won't leave. I'll be fucking hooker from Tijuana once a month. I get to do all the debaucherous shit that I want to at all times. And you think I want to give that up just so y'all can have some fairness? You don't give a fuck out my face while I tap your goddamn phone. Don't you ever disrespect me ever like that for your life?
Yeah.
That's real.
You know?
Well, you know what I saw? Where was it? On The View, on one of these shows I stream. The pivot from it's interesting. So Trump said when the looting starts, the shooting starts, and then pivoted to say, I didn't know the historical context of that. But what's tingly to me about these behaviors that he does is that they're exactly what the wokes do.
Yeah.
So when you call a woke on a thing, a woke will be like, oh, but I didn't know that thing. And oh, I'm just trying. There'll be some defense. But it's like, but if you sought justice, you would just listen to the truth of what I'm telling you about what you actually did. It's my truth right now. So it's interesting. What I want to say, not just to people who vote for him, but people who still engage in these behaviors, is you are fucking Trump. You're doing it. He's doing the behaviors that I experience in multiple forms and fashions, like over the course of my life. These are pivots that I've witnessed interpersonally with people across the political spectrum, that just core not taking responsibility because you can get away with not taking responsibility, however obvious it is. Don't nobody need historical context to recognize that that sentence is trash. Y'all trying to pin Black people to history, even when we're like, how about we look at right now, nigga? What if we stop talking about slavery and just talk about your knee on our neck? Even that conversation isn't valid.
It's not valid at all. I actually, like I had people hit me up yesterday asking me how I felt about all this property that was damaged, right? So I went on my Instagram and just give this lengthy explanation about how I feel. And I was like, you know what, man, I'll reference slavery one time, but I'll go back 60 years at most. That's all I'll do. That is all I will say within these 60 years. Boom, 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 boom. I will go right in from here. This is within these 60 years. That's when we got liberation, freedom. I start right there, and I'll go from here. This behavior is still justified. This behavior is still justified. And they want to say, well, if you could just get over slavery, I'm not talking about that.
We didn't bring that up? Because I could, nigga. I could. It's the winning thing. It's my Jordan. It's my Jordan.
It's my fadeaway.
I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah. It's my Kareem Skyhook.
That is yours.
Because it's accurate and it's always applicable. It has ceased to become not applicable because there is not equality. So I can still it up because we're still dealing with the remnants of it to this day. But okay, I will go back within 60 years. I will go back within that and start just from there.
Still got problems.
Yeah, and motherfuckers don't like it. And to go to your point about like the wokeness and even like, you know, or whatever, when people fuck up, man, it would be so easy if someone was just like, I fucked up, my bad. I didn't even, I've done it. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. My bad. I'm sorry. I can see how that puts you in a tizzy because I don't gotta defend my goodness. I'm not trying to defend that. If someone thinks I am or I'm not, that's them. I don't.
It ain't about you. It's about this thing you did. You did this thing.
Right.
It ain't about you.
Yeah. So there's nothing to defend. It's like, I don't need you to see me as whatever. I didn't know that I did that thing. My bad. My bad.
People forget how language works. I swear to God, when you're trying to have a conversation.
I ever knew it.
Word.
Yeah.
They don't know what language is for real. You know.
That's fair.
So.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it's weird because you have protests. I mean, you have this is the part that is interesting because you have curfews here, Columbus, New York, Los Angeles. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago had one, but I think Chicago's been going through it, so I don't think they're getting that amped right now. But it's like, man, that I don't know. I understand why they're doing it. I don't like it. I'm not. I get it's like, well, we can't have people running the streets. I'm like, they're gonna be out there regardless.
Yeah, it's just a real excuse to arrest people now because they're really breaking the law.
Yes, but I do also think it clears everybody away, so it's easier to find the people they consider the quote unquote bad guys.
That's a good point. Yeah.
No, and I understand that. I totally dig that. I just don't like it when even when it's beneficial. Like for instance, the stay-at-home order was not a mandated order that was punishable by arrest, right?
True.
It's like, look, everything is shut down. We need you to stay home. If you
are voluntary.
But when all of a sudden, if that becomes a state or federally mandated thing that is punishable, that's where I have an issue with that. I'm just like, because that's a heavy hand. And I don't like you're telling me that I can't go outside and you're telling me that I can't do things. Yeah, you won't give me access to quality healthcare. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Tell me to stay inside. Make me stay inside if I also have a Medicare for all or universal healthcare. Then actually I will give you, you know what? They did take care of my knees, so I'm gonna stay my ass inside. I actually may be willing to give that. But when I don't have the rights of a human being in this country fully, and I know a lot of people who do not, you got a lot of nerve saying if you go outside, we will arrest you and throw you and punish you. It's like, man, that's tricky. I get why you're doing this, but that's tricky.
You're not wrong at all. Completely true. So how about I add more drama to this? Trump recently signed an executive order that pushes against social media writing, controlling language. You guys agree with that or not? I mean, I know it's to serve his own self-interest, but do you think it's a justified order?
Clarify the controlling language.
Okay, so he's for anyone like in terms of politics or like you will get maybe Facebook or Twitter if they start like controlling language, like how they did with Trump and what he said, and they said this wasn't true, this was a politically motivated attack, or this was trying to incite violence. Then they can take away federal funding as well as that's pretty much it, taking away federal funding. So you are no longer allowed. And for me, in my head, with mandating or allowing Facebook and Twitter and Instagram to control language, you no longer have the freedom to be stupid, right? And if you're out there, and right now, when you talk about words come from social media more than how it used to be coming out of the public. And now that more and more control is given to language with Facebook, Twitter, we're losing our ability, our First Amendment rights. And for right now, it looks okay for a lot of people on the left because it's predominantly controlled by the left. However, the more it starts shifting right and words start getting controlled and they can figure out what is true and what's not true, that's when it's going to start getting shaky. So if we can get it bitten right now and language can be free for no matter whom it is, I like this. I actually do. I don't like why he did it, but I like what he did.
I think there's a.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
No, I think there's a difference because I think I saw the tweet that he had and the notification that Twitter put, and they put a little warning message, some sort of message. I don't think they deleted it. They just put a message.
They did it. Yeah, they said warning, and this is a watch out for what it is type of thing. But
is that what they're talking about doing moving forward? And is that what he's talking about canceling?
Yeah, that is, as well as, how Facebook have been deleting, and they have a group saying what is true and what's not true, like a fact check thing. And that's kind of what it is, right? Is a fact check crew. And quite frankly, I believe that everyone has a right to be stupid. And if someone posts something stupid, they shouldn't have that taken away from them.
No, everybody has the right to trust the president that they fucking pay for. Ooh, so when your president says some shit in social media, and this heat isn't for you, Shannon, it's just for like the influence of this story spin. No, nigga, you the president and your words are influential because you're the president, but you talk crazy and people are ready to kill and put their lives on the line right now because these are crazy fucking times that we're almost about to pull out of. And you, Mr. fucking President, are driving your nation into race war. You are signaling to people to go out and get more Black bodies like that cop did over there. You are fucking doing this. You are infuriating Black people with the dumb shit you're saying so that we get out and publicly say, we don't care about your shit burning down. And then your friends hire people to come over here and burn shit down and tempt us to go and get ourselves some Cortezes. The fucking problem is that our president is toxic. He is not presidential. He is barely human. I think he has just what's required to be called a human being. This person is dangerous and problematic. I think that what Twitter is doing is courageous. I can imagine that Twitter was very, very, very fucking worried about making these moves. But when you consider the actual danger, this man sends a tweet, people show up at a place with guns, talking about lock a government official up who's fighting to save their lives. This man is dangerous. Kudos, Twitter. Kudos. Make him write more executive orders.
You are absolutely.
Zuckerberg was like, yo, like people shouldn't censor people and shit like that, or we don't do that shit or something like that. Then took fire back at Facebook and said some other shit. It's crazy.
I like your point. You're right. As a president, I don't even know if I like the idea that a president has a Twitter like the way he does. You know, I don't, you know, that's way too much social media for one elected official. But when it comes to what they're gonna start, man, that's a slippery slope, and that's what I'm afraid of. And
he don't care about us being censored. This nigga spending our money on his vendetta against Twitter. I don't get to spend y'all tax money when Facebook fucks up and don't let me create.
He's
I don't
the
get
worst
to spend your money.
person.
He's spending our money on his vendetta. He don't give a shit
That's
about
what it is,
our
but
freedom.
no, but you gotta control the media. You know what I mean? That's all that. That's that Putin shit, yo. You know,
he's
what I mean?
awful. He's
like
awful, and I think he's the worst person to push an agenda that I feel is going to be significant coming up, as especially you know more and more generations start using this as our main platform to express ourselves, even more so than what the press once was. And you're right. I mean, he's doing it for himself. He shouldn't be pushing things out. However,
and why you giving them niggas federal funding anyway? These are major Silicon Valley companies. Why they got funding and babies ain't got books? This is so stupid. It's so stupid.
Well, it's also the media has gotten
here's another point though.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking when you brought up the news where it just started with like the fairness doctrine that Reagan put in place like years ago, where it's like all sides of the news had to be covered no matter how like wrong or prejudiced, and now the news can just go awry because of that doctrine. Sorry, it sounds like fireworks are going off here, so I'm gonna be muting on and off a lot.
You could have blamed that on somebody else shit. I didn't even know that was yours.
Yeah.
My thing is, you know, I can't just the classic like paradigm is I can't just go in a theater and yell fire, right? Even for that I get in trouble. But even us as comedians, we had this. Even us as comedians, we had this conversation. If we were in a room and somebody was popping off saying some wild shit, we would check them, kick them out. Even we did that. We had that conversation even in a chat room. They were saying questionable shit, so we were like, yo, we might need to take care of this person. We might need to kick them out. So, and that's just a regular Joe Schmo. That's not an important person at all. And we are going as far as saying, we don't want your language here. We're denying you the right of speech in this room, let alone if you have any amount of authority or power or celebrity.
You're damn
right. Not even that. There are people and robots intended to say intended shit, similar to the people who are throwing the protests off to like make shit look bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fair to be aware of it and then tag it or have some sort of function on it, as opposed to just letting it fly.
Do you think the censoring of it is changing anybody's mind though? Or the hiding of it? Or do you think that it's triggering more people to think that there is a war against one side more than the other?
I don't think that mind changing is required. And so that's the thing that I would just like call out as like an assumption in the conversation, that like a mind has to be changed. I think that it's up to Twitter, to my knowledge, a private company, to set their own boundaries and enforce them.
And that's where I think the federal funding, I do believe, is a necessary thing to get rid of if it is a multi-billion-dollar company. I agree with you, and that's where I stand. If it was Facebook as it was 15 years ago, just dude from Harvard, out of his basement pushing it, but then when it becomes a $1 billion company that is being funded by the government, is that now a government entity?
Yeah, that's a good way to watch it. I mean, at the end of the day, especially with, and here's all I can say for this, like, with what Kat said about the executive, I mean, the man just can't be trusted. And I don't listen. I know a broken clock is still right twice a day. That doesn't mean that I trust any, like, you can still pass something good and I still hate you and I can still be like, all right, well, you might have done something good. I remember seeing that and I'm like, no, but I don't trust this because I know what your immediate intention is with this. And honestly, like, you only need this type of legislation to be passed, and all you need is one psycho to be in a position of power to where this thing gets fucked up, and we already have the psycho. You know what I'm saying? We already have the psycho that's in the office. So, and again, we are not seeing overwhelming evidence that this man is not going to be here past November. So, again, the man he already has the nuclear codes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't co-sign that executive order at all. I just can't do it because I know his intent, because I know him and I know his heart, and I know that, quite frankly, it is within our lifetime the most evil representation of anything that we've seen in the presidency. And that includes Ronald fucking Reagan. It's saying something, because at least Reagan was smart. This guy is a fucking idiot, but is a narcissist, so he gets how to manipulate human beings. But he's still a dumb person.
To be fair, he might have lost the codes at some point. We might not have the codes to those weapons. He might have misplaced them.
We're gonna have to build a whole new set of weapons.
Putin has them.
Yeah.
That's the real thing that happened. Clinton lost the nuke codes for a couple months. He forgot where he put them. They misplaced the football.
Because he was getting his dick sucked so good by Monica Lewinsky, he forgot himself. He was having a midlife crisis and receiving the best oral sex of his entire life, and he became reckless. Listen, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. Trust me.
Too much power.
Yeah, my man was out here getting his knob slobbed in the Oval Office, and his head wasn't in the game. He needed to remain in his loveless marriage with that woman to stay focused, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
That's what happened with the crime bill.
The nuclear codes are stuck together like yearbook pages.
Right?
Oh no!
And I know.
I will be honest. Nutting on the nuclear codes does sound kind of hot. Like that's a whole different level of power.
That's power. That's power.
I just saw Clinton in that fucking in the Epstein shit in that documentary on Netflix. He all over.
Oh yeah. The new documentary, that Virginia and those ladies, yeah.
Oh, there's a new Epstein documentary.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
I don't even
I saw that. I haven't watched it. But yeah, it's on there. It's popping. I don't think I'm gonna watch it because he is a devil that engaged in the violation of children. But I'm sure it's very, very interesting. Yeah, but it's one of those. It's weird. I don't know why, because I can watch stuff on the Catholic Church and be like, yeah, look at your dirt, look at your wickedness and your filth. For whatever reason, I was like, of course he's out here engaging in sex trafficking. So it's like I don't know that I give a fuck about how he died. I actually don't think I do. Like, I don't really.
Yeah.
You're like, he was murdered. I'm like, okay, good. Like, I don't know. And I get that. Well, don't you see the correlation? No,
I don't have to.
Yeah, I don't have to. I don't think I want to. He's dead. He's fucking gone. He breaks.
Well, I gotta watch a series about it. There's artists out here making all kinds of things. Well, I gotta, and you know what? Kudos to the people who made that. But listen.
Yep.
He got coverage.
Yeah.
Nah, I you know what I mean, as a father and a teacher, man, I want to know what the fuck is going on with fucking pedophiles and shit sometimes.
Yeah.
How to think.
I think it was giving those victims a few dollars, you know, giving them a voice, allowing them to say this is the fucked up shit. I won't watch it, but yeah, I think they're
like,
getting
yo,
something out.
I don't even know. I didn't even know some people did shit like this. So I'm like,
it's disgusting.
Shit's crazy. Like, yeah, so
the thing is, like, he wasn't acting alone. He had associates that are still out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I know this is a weird thing. He wasn't even worth $1 billion and had that much power.
Yeah.
Because he had everybody on speed dial. He had all his little kiddie porn friends, including the president, who like to come and commiserate and hang out. Bro, he knew he knew what they liked. He had their preferences. He had all that shit. And that'll give you a lot of power. That'll give you a lot of power, especially when you know the proclivities of other powerful people, and you can potentially do real harm to them. You know,
we've touched on a wide variety of subjects.
I can go over the ingredients of Miracle Whip if anyone needs to know that now.
Oh, I think that's probably the end.
That's the worst thing we've talked about the entire conversation. Miracle Whip sandwiches.
Nuclear codes to Miracle Whip.
Jared's mom called him because the street lights were on, so he had
to go. He's still pushing the name change.
Babu Savra.
Okay, well,
that was spirited, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad this happened. This is tremendous. I reckon I'll be there tomorrow.
Yes, please come. Cecily's going to be the professor. I'm going to call her Professor Lee. I'm going to be giving people homework.
Love it. I love it.
Huh?
You just telling everybody?
No, they don't know what I mean. They don't know what I mean. I say no, but you know what? You had me with the facial expression. Did you notice that I got quiet before you said my name? I saw the face. I saw
it. She got the you about to be grounded.
Yep. I was in trouble. I sat back, put my hand in front of my mouth. It's gonna be a great show, though. You're gonna have fun.
But yeah, thank y'all so much. I'm gonna make food and get this vodka. So
thank you for the real life account. Thank you.
I'm glad you're safe, brother.
Tutorial. Thanks for that. The inside scoop.
Yeah, man. There'll be more coming. I'm sure you're gonna hear more people talking about it. But till then, I'll see y'all and stay safe.
Yeah.
Take care,
stay
sir.
safe. You better call your mama now. You better call your mom.
I already did. She gave me a lashing. She wasn't happy. She wasn't happy. I apologized, but said I did the right thing, and she was like, I know. So
that's what you want.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, y'all. Sorry, Cecily.
All right.
Bye, y'all. Peace out.
Bye.
All right. Good night.